So, E3 2013 so far has been interesting. Microsoft is still a big epic fail, EA announced a new Battlefront game, Ubisoft is alright, and now Sony. Let's take a look. $399? That's a very good price. God, look at how they are making fun of Microsoft! Tetsuya Nomura? Final Fantasy XV? That looks very epic! What is this? Kingdom Hearts 1.5 HD oh my god. Wait, no. This can't be real. Oh my god! Kingdom Hearts 3! They just announced Kingdom Hearts 3! This is the best thing ever! I'm so happy! That was my real reaction. So yes, the final installment of the Xehanort saga has been announced in the last E3, and every Kingdom Hearts fan is happy to see another game in their favorite franchise. You know I am no exception, and I had to do something to celebrate. After some weeks deciding what to do, I realized the best idea was to make a countdown about my favorite thing in gaming, boss battles, and apply it to Kingdom Hearts. It's true, I was not planning in making this list in a long time, but the Kingdom Hearts 3 announcement was a priority. This franchise has perfect different styles of combat that made almost every boss fight a joy to play. They can be related to the story to have emotional impact, they can be incredibly challenging, or they just can be really fun to battle. So today I will count down what I think are the 15 best bosses in my favorite franchise. Please remember I haven't played Birth by Sleep, Recoded, or Dream Drop Distance yet, and I am aware that some of the best battles in the series take place in those games, but I can't put them in the list if I didn't experience them myself. Don't worry, I will talk about those bosses in the honorable mentions later in this video. Oh, and let's not forget that this is my opinion. It's perfectly fine if you disagree, and yeah, you know the drill. Oh, and I almost forgot, there will be spoilers for the entire series on this list. You have been warned. So, let's not lose any more time. Summon your Keyblades, sit back, relax, and enjoy my top 15 Kingdom Hearts bosses.
I'll try! Let's go, Tron!
Oh, Disney! What would this series be right now without you? Disney has been part of pretty much everybody's childhoods, and the crossover it offers in Kingdom Hearts was a genius idea. And I am not only talking about the Disney worlds and Disney heroes, but also about the memorable Disney villains that work with Maleficent in order to conquer all worlds with the help of the Heartless. While most of them have interesting places in the story and epic boss fights, I had to pick just one for the list. It was a big struggle, but at the end I went with the battle against Jafar in Kingdom Hearts 2. Oh Jafar, I like you as much as the other Disney villains, and your appearance in both Kingdom Hearts games was amazing. Especially in the second one, in which there was a mystery of not knowing if he was going to come back. At the end of the second visit, after an epic flying carpet segment, he did come back in his genie form, and the battle against him was one of the most epic Disney bosses ever. Jafar will use a lot of magic against you, fire, electricity, and he can even summon a rain of Arabian buildings and try to hit you. I guess he and Xemnas would be good friends. To win this battle, you will have to dodge every attack with your flying carpet and try to hit him on his belly. That will waken him and will give you the chance to use the reaction command roll up, which will stun him. This fight has a very epic concept and makes a good use of the flying carpet. The villain itself is interesting and nostalgic for most people, and the fight is very entertaining to play. But at the end, Genie Jafar is only at number 15 because the reaction command can be exploited in a way that the battle can turn out as extremely easy, especially since he has a very short health bar. Well, I guess good things end up very quickly. While we all love the Disney bosses, we also have the more overlooked Emblem Heartless bosses. Hey, these are my favorite type of enemy in any video game, and the huge ones are responsible of some of the best fights in the entire series. I have to give credit to the Storm Rider from Land of Dragons. That battle was extremely epic. I love the concept of a guardian dragon being turned into a Heartless, and the fact that you have to fly up to his back in order to defeat him. The Storm Rider was an excellent Heartless boss, and he almost made it into this list, but there is one similar boss that I prefer. The Groundshaker. Guys, I said the Groundshaker! To start off, you already know the Pride Lands is my favorite Disney world in the entire franchise, because of numerous reasons, and this amazing boss is one of them. In your second visit, Simba and his friends will tell you that Scar's ghost is haunting them. After Sora, Donald and Goofy successfully helped Simba to regain his composture, the ghosts gathered together and created this giant enemy. When I made that Shadow of the Colossus joke back then, I was not kidding. The Groundshaker is possibly the largest boss ever fought in the entire series. And obviously, the battle against it didn't disappoint. It starts off with an easy to pull off yet badass reaction command that will stun the Heartless for a while. After dealing damage by hitting him on his eyes, he will stand up and attack you with everything he has, especially his enormous body and some fire spells. If you manage to avoid all of that shit by mastering your lion abilities, you will eventually activate another reaction command that will let you climb up to his back and hit the real target, the shaman that is over there. He will also use different kinds of magic in order to get Sora out of there, but if you have good reflexes and good stats, you will be able to deal enough damage. Rinse and repeat until the Groundshaker is defeated and you finally clear the Pride Lands world. The battle against the Groundshaker may not be the most challenging one, but it's definitely one of the most epic ones. Its design is interesting enough, the fight itself is very entertaining, the controls for Lion Sora are perfect, its backstory is very clever, and the entire boss is just very memorable. Everybody loves the Organization 13, just everybody. Kingdom Hearts fans, people who never ever played the series before, and even Kingdom Hearts haters love this badass organization of nobodies. And why not? Their personalities are likable, the elements they control are interesting, and their boss battles are just magnificent. Sora and his friends fight the members in different situations, and each battle is amazing. All of them, even Demix. So it's pretty obvious that these guys will appear all the way through this countdown, and the first one is none other than Xigbar. If there is one word I can use to describe the nobody of Breck, that would be badass. Everything about him is just very badass. His appearance, his personality, his weapon, his element, and, obviously enough, the boss battle against him. Near the end of Kingdom Hearts 2, you face him at the world that never was, while everything was going apeshit. He tries to confuse Sora by referencing Roxas and the Birth by Sleep protagonist. But, since he didn't fall for his trap, Xigbar decided to use violence. And god, it was a great decision. The free shooter uses two arrow guns that shoot lasers, and he can wield the element of space, giving him the ability to change the appearance of the stage and teleport himself very easily. Put these two characteristics together, and you got yourself a devastating fight with lots of undodgeable lasers being thrown at you. This battle can be extremely challenging for Kingdom Hearts 2 standards. You will need to be very good at the game and have quick reflexes. Unlike other bosses, the reaction command Warp Snipe will only deal more damage to him, but won't stop Xigbar from kicking your ass. Even the music, the 13 Dilemma, makes up for a very intense atmosphere that will put you in your nerves. While I simply love this boss fight to death, it's very low on the list because the challenge can get really cheap and annoying at times. Of course, it's not a major flaw, but it can get you out of the experience. But despite that, this battle has an amazing character, great music, and more difficulty for a game that was already pretty easy. And hey, don't be too hard with Xigbar, at least he helps the kids and tries to teach them the ABC.
Can you think of any words that start with the letter R?
R for reload!
am going to be honest with you guys. I've never watched Fantasia, so the first time I faced the Chernabog I had no idea who he was, but I still enjoyed the battle itself. When I found out he's the evil demon from an amazing Disney musical movie, I realized how iconic he is, and this battle started to grow on me. Especially when I heard that most XIII fans who did watch Fantasia had a huge surprise when they saw him for the first time. Another amazing fact about the Chernabog is that Square managed to get the rights for the classic song Night on Bald Mountain for the English version of Kingdom Hearts, and that is very impressive. But now let's talk about the fight itself. In Kingdom Hearts, the Chernabog is one of the final bosses at the end of the world, and he has one of the fewer battles in the series. This means the gameplay is more original and more jaw-dropping. The challenge is as tough as almost every other boss in the original Kingdom Hearts, but it's not impossible. The demon from Bald Mountain will throw a lot of devastating fire and dark spells at you and your friends in order to kill Sora. But if you master your glide abilities and if you know when to get away from him, you will sure enjoy a fair challenge. The fight against Chernabog in Kingdom Hearts is on here mainly because of the iconic impact it had on most Disney fans, the classic music that sounds during the mayhem, and the fair but fun challenge it offers. All of these aspects make this fight very memorable, especially if you compare it to the awful Chernabog battle in Kingdom Hearts 3D. But there is one downside to this epic boss. The Chernabog appears out of nowhere, the battle itself is crazy and over the top, it has nothing to do with the plot of the game, and once you defeated him, nobody ever mentions him again. Yeah, you know what goes next.
Big lived alligator moment!
Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories. To this day, a huge part of the fanbase can decide if they love it or if they hate it. In my case, I really like it. Of course, it's not a perfect Kingdom Hearts game, and I do think it has some major flaws, but I still appreciate the story, the characters, and the combat system. Yeah, all of you must be angry at me right now, but I think this card battle system, despite being weird and confusing, was creative, clever, and extremely satisfying, and this led up to some very interesting boss battles. Case in point, Section. Before we talk about the fight itself, I must say that Section is a fucking awesome Organization 13 member. He's smart, he's badass, and he prefers using the power of illusions to confuse Riku rather than just fighting him like other members would. Curiously, you don't battle Section in the original GBA release, but in the PlayStation 2 remake he shows his real weapons, 3 magic books named lexicons. The boss battle itself is very creative and makes a good use of the card combat system. Instead of just attacking you, Section will use different techniques like throwing his book at you or creating a giant tornado to steal cards from Riku. After dealing enough damage, he will create 3 copies of himself that will use Riku's attacks. That concept is very unique for a boss fight, and trust me, it's not an easy battle. Having to deal with Section and his 3 clones won't be easy for you, even if the game lets you be in dark mode for the whole fight. Another reason Section is on this list is because you fight him during Riku's side of the story, and I always prefer playing as him in Chain of Memories. I really don't know why, but everything feels more dynamic, especially with the inclusion of card duels and dark mode. Overall, the battle against Section is one of the few that really sticks out in Chain of Memories. Section himself is a very interesting character that has an intriguing plot in the story, the fight makes a good use of the original combat system and adds a lot of fair challenge to the game, and playing as Riku is always more entertaining than playing as Sora. Now, some people would rather have the absent silhouette battle from Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix, but you know, I can't really put it on this list because fucking Final Mix didn't get a release outside of Japan.
Only you could have made it this far in one piece, Roxas.
That's really getting old.
Different name, same fate.
Kicking off the top 10, we have the Luna Diviner himself, Saïx. Like Xigbar, you fight him near the end of Kingdom Hearts 2 at the world that never was, and this battle is incredibly epic and satisfying. Saïx himself is not as interesting as other members of the Organization 13, but he still is a true badass and a very important character for the plot of the series, and many fans hate him for the right reasons. Trust me, Saïx is an asshole. Because of this and even more, his boss battle is one of the best organization fights. Saïx has control over the moon and he can use its power to transform into Berserk mode. When Saïx goes Berserk, he's invincible and way more powerful. This means it will be pretty hard to avoid his attacks when he's in this mode. In order to break the Berserk, you can either wait for it to finish or you can stop it by yourself. Every time he releases a chain of attacks, Saïx will drop his claymore. Sora can pick it with the reaction command and kick his ass with it. Trust me, when you think of how hateable Saïx is, you will sure enjoy beating him with a giant metal sword. Of course, when he's normal again, the rest of the battle will still be a good challenge, especially because he can go Berserk again whenever he wants. But even if you have a bad time with him, the battle against Saïx is extremely epic, with some real entertaining gameplay and a badass reaction command, and it feels extremely satisfying to beat. But I must admire Saïx's balls, because he has such an interesting anger management method. Letting a kid beat the crap out of you in order to control your anger? That is very unorthodox. Yeah, this joke is so stupid. Let's move on to the next boss. Flying on a magic carpet in Agrabah. Oh my god, a giant robot cobra with 6 arms and 2 giant scimitars! Run! Run for your lives! Yeah, believe it or not, the number 9 spot is for the optional Emblem Heartless boss from Kingdom Hearts, XIII. Now, the main reason he's on this list is because XIII is actually a very well put together fight, and the strategies you use for every other boss in the game won't work this time. XIII has 2 different phases. In the first one, he will deactivate your magic, so you will have to be very careful and use all of your reflexes to break the orbs he holds in his hands, only with physical attacks, and trust me, that will not be easy. When you finally destroy the orbs, his robot body will collapse, and his cobra head will be open to attacks. Then the second phase will begin, and XIII will defend itself with a shield that can only be damaged with magic. This phase is the opposite of the other one, since you will have to use all of your weak magic attacks to break the shield. After you manage to do this, then the Heartless will be open for attacks again until the first phase starts over. Rinse and repeats until you defeat it. XIII is definitely one of my favorite Heartless ever. His design and concept are creative and badass, the fight is very challenging if you didn't level up enough, and the idea of using different phases was unique and clever, and made up for a satisfying battle. Also, did you know that XIII is named after a guy called XIII of New York who won a contest held by Square to have your name in the game? That is very interesting, but unfair. I want to have my name on a badass Heartless boss. Ansem, Seeker of Darkness, the Heartless of Terra Xehanort and the main villain of Kingdom Hearts. He's responsible for the destruction of many worlds by the Heartless, and he even takes control over Riku's body and heart. He may not be as lovable as Xemnas or the original Xehanort, but he truly did a good job as an antagonist. Obviously, he takes the role of final boss of the game, and his battles did not disappoint. After a challenging adventure through the end of the world, Sora, Donald and Goofy finally reach the dark remnants of Destiny Islands. There, they meet Ansem in his true form and engage in a very easy battle against him. After killing the dark side for a 3rd time, Sora will now have to fight him alone, and I love this one-on-one duel. Ansem and his guardian have their fair share of devastating attacks and tricky strategies, like possessing Sora's commands or make the guardian attack Sora by breaking through the floor. This battle is extremely hard, and you will need to master all of your abilities if you don't want to get your ass kicked. If you manage to do so, you will finally defeat Xehanort's Heartless.
But wait! There's more!
But as much as I love this challenging duel, I also really like the final boss right after it. The Seeker of Darkness will use all of his power to transform into the World of Chaos, a giant Heartless ship, and will engage Sora in an awesome air battle with multiple phases. The Keyblade wielder will have to destroy the World of Chaos' face, hearts, dark cannons, and etc., while he encounters Donald and Goofy again. When everything is destroyed, the 3 heroes gather together in a final epic match in the Earth that will finish this amazing game. So yeah, both battle against Ansem, the one-on-one duel and the World of Chaos, are really good but so different. The first one is simple but incredibly challenging and satisfying, while the second one is easier but with more elaboration. since it has multiple phases, a creative design, an epic atmosphere, great music, and an awesome way of ending the game. So fuck it, both battles are on the list, each one is amazing in their own way and they pretty much happen at the same time, so you could consider them to be one. Ansem, Seeker of Darkness, a badass Heartless that is not hard to take down, and I can't wait for his final boss battle in Kingdom Hearts 3. Oh, and I almost forgot that another reason he's on this list is because of his ultra sexy voice.
Don't bother. Your voice can no longer reach him where he is. His heart belongs again to darkness.
Yeah, yeah, ha, ha, hey, yeah, ha, ha.